Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about some secrets to great relationships. And these are some things that are really not that common knowledge. These are a lot of mistakes that I see couples doing, and a lot of these things are remedies to a lot of mistakes that I see couples doing. So, the first point that I want to make is before you even go into a relationship, you got to make sure that you're actually with the right sort of person, because a lot of people are their relationships are doomed from the gate because they're with the wrong sort of person. You should ideally be with someone who has the same kind of values as you, so that means they want the same kind of things in life. You have to be with someone who who has the same kind of lifestyle as you, who has relatively the same sort of hobbies as you as well. You want to be with someone who is a little bit like you in a way. Now, of course, you can have some differences. You don't exactly have to like the same kind of music 100% of the time, or you have to like every single movie each other likes. Although that's really fun and cool, it doesn't have to be like all the time, right? Unless those things are really, really important to you. Like if you're a big movie buff and it's important that you have someone who likes the same kind of movies as you, because that's just who you are, then obviously that's important to you. So obviously you need to kind of think about what's important to you, what you're a fan about, and then accordingly find someone who is like that as well. So it could be the case that when it comes to lifestyle, you need to have someone who lives relatively the same kind of lifestyle as you. This was a mistake that I made in a previous relationship. I was someone who, didn't really like partying, didn't really like going out that much. I prefer to wake up earlier and do more sort of like fun, like things that I found fun, like going on walks, hiking, going bowling, doing fun sort of like family type things, where you can really bond. And I like to go to bed early as well. Whereas I was with someone who, wanted to come in at 3 a.m. drunk and, just wanted to party all the time. And we just clashed. And that was one of the reasons why we clashed. We just had different values and different lifestyles. You need to find someone who wants the same kind of long-term things as you as well. Like it's important that you find someone who wants marriage if you want marriage, who wants kids if you want kids. It's important that you get those things right, because if you don't, then you're going to be one of you is going to be miserable, and if one of you is miserable, then it's more likely that the whole relationship is going to be miserable. Because I feel like a lot of the time we go into relationships as human beings and we're focused on passion, we're focused on how attracted we are. And although that's a really important point, you can't let yourself get hypnotized by their beauty, by how handsome they are, and fail to recognize all these other things. You need to find someone who is not just a match on the outside, who you have the hots for basically, but you have to find someone who is like you. Because if you're not with someone who is like you, then you are going to clash. Now, it doesn't mean that like I said, you don't have to be 100% twins or something like that. It just means that you have basically all of the deal breakers in the right places. So you need to really think about what your deal breakers are. Like, what are things that you cannot tolerate in a relationship? What are things that you can tolerate? What are things that are absolute musts in a relationship for you? You need to figure those things out. And when you go on a date with someone, that is when you need to, be thinking about those things and asking questions about those things, so you can find out if whether or not the person you're on a date with is the right one for you. Because if you get hypnotized by the way that they look, then you could end up in the relationship with the wrong person and waste so much of your precious life with the wrong person, right? So that's the first thing. You need to make a lot of mistakes I see could have actually been resolved right at the beginning by not actually being with the wrong person, because that's something that I see. I see people that are completely mismatches from each other. And it's really sad to see as well, because they've just completely wasted their time. And sometimes they even continue to waste their time in trying to make it work when they're just two different people. So that's the first thing. So that's the first secret to a great relationship: finding someone who basically ticks all the boxes for you. In terms of personality, in terms of what you really want in a relationship and what you can't tolerate. You really need to get clear on those things. So another secret to great relationships is you have to keep on dating each other. So basically, what happens with couples is they stop. Basically, how you got your partner is how you keep your partner. So you got to keep on doing the things that you did at the beginning when you were in the honeymoon phase, basically when you first started dating, and you've got to continue to do that throughout your relationship for the rest of your life. I see a lot of people, they become relaxed in their relationships. They think, oh yeah, I found the great guy, I found a great girl. Now I can just relax. I can just stop putting in the effort. And they let themselves go and things like that, and then they wonder why their partner no longer wants to be intimate with them. They wonder why their partner no longer wants to spend time with them, and it's essentially because you're no longer doing the same things. They fell in love with you and wanted to be with you because of how you two were at the beginning of the relationship, and then you slowly became a different person, and you slowly started treating them differently, right? So it's important then that you continue dating each other and doing the same things that you did to get them, right? And if you keep on doing that, you keep note basically of what you did to get them. Like you might be able to remember, those first few dates. And those first few months when you're together, and what were you doing? Like, how were you behaving? What kind of things would you do together? Really think about those things and then continue to do it. Now, I know obviously life happens, things happens in life, like you have kids and that takes up a lot of your time, or you might get more responsibilities, work, and that takes more of your time. So you don't have to get it like 100% how it was at the beginning, but you need to have those moments in there. So it might be just, you might only have time to do something once a month or once every 2 months if you're super busy, but you got to find the time to do those things, because that's how you got your partner, is how you keep your partner. So keep that in mind. Another thing is that you know how to communicate with each other. That's another secret to great relationships. You got to figure out basically how your partner communicates and communicate with them in the way that they prefer to communicate. So, a very typical example of this, a very stereotypical example of this, is that a lot of women, very feminine women, tend to love to talk about their life and their feelings, and they become very closed off to men who, don't give them their presence and don't talk to them. This is something that I've witnessed in my own life with personal family members. The guy just doesn't know how to communicate with his wife. And the wife gets really upset. She's like, it's like I'm talking to a brick wall. He doesn't look at me. He doesn't engage in the conversation. He always cuts the conversation short. But, feminine women, they really want to talk about their life, their day-to-day things, the things that's worrying them. And sometimes they may even ask for their partner's advice. But most of the time, they just want to chat. They just want to talk. And you've got to let your woman talk to you and communicate with you, because otherwise there could be a lot of issues and she's going to become closed off. She's like, I can't speak to him. And if she can't communicate with you, if she can't open up her heart to you and talk about her feelings, then she's going to close off from you. She's not going to want to be intimate with you. She's not going to feel like she can trust you. She wants to come to you for strength and for reassurance, and she wants to chat to you, right, about things. So having presence, not being present with your partner is a huge one. You want to, you got to give your partner, it doesn't matter what sex you are, your undivided attention. Sometimes you have to give them your presence. You have to speak to them. You have to, really focus on them. So that means you've got to put your phone down. That means you've got to turn off Netflix, and have a chat. It doesn't have to be a long time. Just like, it may be just when you have dinner together, sit at the table, don't eat on and watch TV, sit on a table facing each other and have a chat about your day. That's all it takes, just having, a good 20 to half an hour chat about your day, about what you got up to, about what happened, and, just talking about those things, giving, there's the quote, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So basically you want to be a really good listener first, and then obviously talking about yourself. So there's another quote by Stephen Covey as well, which is, first seek to understand and then be understood. So really put, the best way you can be present with someone is if when they're telling you a story, like your partner's talking about their day at work or something like that, imagining and being present with them and thinking about, putting yourself in their shoes. So as they're telling you the experience, imagine yourself as if it was happening to you and how you would react and things like that, because that's the best way that you can understand where they're coming from. So giving them your own undivided attention and your presence is really, really crucial, and being able to communicate with them like that as well. And the best way that you can communicate, you don't really need to do much. You don't need to say much yourself in order to let the person that you're with to allow them to let off some steam. All you need to do is keep on asking them questions. Like when they're telling you a story, keep on going, oh wow, what happened next? Or it could be the case you might say something like, oh, how did that make you feel? Or, oh, why did they say that? Or what happened after that? Just keep on asking questions until they get it off their chest, and you can tell that they feel better about it and they feel relieved. And you can even ask them, hey, if it's a, something that needs a solution, you can say, hey, would you like my input on this? Would you like me to help you fix it? Would you like my solution? Would you like me to give you my opinion on what's going on? Or would you just like me to listen to you? And then they'll tell you what they want. Another great resource is the book. There's a book about love languages. I haven't personally read it. I just read an overview of it. But you can look it up and find out these love languages, and it's becoming finding out what your partner's love language could be a really important thing that you could do, something that could really benefit your relationship. Because there's things like physical touch. So that might be your love language, having cuddles and stuff. Some people like words of affirmation, so they feel, best loved when someone is actually saying to them, I love you. So basically what you want to do is you want to ask your partner what their love language is. And you can easily find it on like YouTube, or just doing a quick Google search what these love languages are, and you can ask your partner what they think their love language is. So then if you know what their love language is, all you need to do is just do what they need, what's required. So if they like words of affirmation, then you know that you need to say to your partner that you love them and you care about them, that you appreciate them, and you need to say things to them to make them feel good, something like that. So that's something else as well that's a good secret to great relationships, understanding how their buttons work when it comes to love and things like that. So that's basically the best advice that I personally have on that kind of situation, what the secrets are to great relationships. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.